Welcome to The Starting Point. So this is going to be a show where we talk about everything esports related, news, team changes, and just the general happenings in the esports world. Mainly focusing on League of Legends, Overwatch, and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, some of the most popular games in today's day and age. My name is Basco, aka Jimmy Mondal. Might have been backwards there. This is Kyle Sover, aka Alpha Lance. You guys know him from all these leaderboard videos. And
hey
here is Judy Barbosa, aka Jet Set. So we'll be starting off this show with Plays of the Week, chosen by me, Kyle, and Judy herself. And we're gonna be starting off with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Okay, so basically you have 7 people alive. This is 1 guy left in a squad rather. So there's 2 people left on his team and 3 people on another squad. So this guy, he's able to pick up his frag grenade, throws it across the street, and is able to knock out that entire squad by himself. Yeah, winning his team the game. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Look
Are
at
you
him.
serious?
They say don't group up, and that's exactly why.
And they were so confident too. They were like, all right, there's 3 of us. Let's just stick together, watch each other's backs.
Oh my god.
And there they go, down they go.
That's
right
BS.
there. Yeah, that's it.
And that wins them the game.
And it's like, how often does that even happen that you land 1 frag grenade that takes out 3 people? Like, you'll get lucky to even hit 1 of them sometimes.
Yeah, I'm
Is that
thankful if
skill,
my
or is
grenade
that-
does anything.
Yeah, right.
Is that actually skill, or is that like a good game?
What were they doing by themselves? Like, they were grouped up behind that rock. They were like, okay, if we sit back to back to back, there's no way we could die.
I mean, they're probably like us, where they're like, grenades aren't that big of a threat. They're like,
Yeah.
I mean, they, if you watch the kill feed, they'd just taken somebody out.
Yeah.
So they probably were like celebrating, like, oh man, that was such a good shot, bah, 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 bah.
And that's all it really took for them to lose that game. And, that was pretty much it. That's why I chose to be my play of the game, just because of how uncommon it was. Judy, I know you had a clip picked out for League of Legends as well, so let's go take a quick look at that one.
So yeah, what I really like about this is that it's the last game, I mean, spoiler alert, but it's like the last game of the World Championships in League, right? And so it's the top 2 teams in the grand finals. Samsung Galaxy is up 2-0, and so both of these teams are being really defensive. But then you see Ruler, the ADC of Samsung Galaxy, make this incredible play.
Yeah.
He just bolts out in front of everybody, in front of his tanks, ultimates Faker, and pops them.
God.
They literally just dive on
Sorry, I
him.
blinked and I missed it. What?
It's amazing. And then he doesn't die
Yeah.
because of the power of Lulu
I
and
see
like
that
all of
ult
her
on him.
shields
Yeah.
and her ults and stuff. They end up taking it just off of that play. Literally because Ruler spotted that
Dude,
Faker
yeah.
didn't have flash.
Oh, God.
That's exactly. They realized that he was just like 3 steps out of position. They were like, we need to do everything to get into his face.
And
That
if you
speed
look at the
boost,
play,
yeah.
exactly. If you look at the play, it was literally like, I think SKT was trying to run a flank. They were trying to bait out, but I guess they just didn't bank on Samsung knowing that Faker didn't have flash.
Yeah.
And that literally cost them the
Jeez.
entire series.
And look at that. Right after that, they just snowball all the way to their Nexus, and that's basically it. Those tanks are trying to stay alive, but
It's amazing.
with all that said, Kyle, I know you also have a play of the week for us from
I do.
Overwatch. So let's go take a look at that one.
Sure thing. So this is the grand finals of the Overwatch World Cup. This is Canada versus South Korea, which South Korea is just, they won last year, they're expected to win and everything. They're kicking Canada's butt right now.
As usual.
So this
Korea.
is Junkertown, the
Yeah.
payload's coming in. So here we go, Zumba captures Mangachu,
Okay.
and instead of killing him, leaves him.
Oh, she sleep.
She's asleep.
Good night.
And then, trapped in the trap. Stays there. The entire team is dancing around. If you get the audio when you go to this clip, if you get the audio from the audience, you can hear just the human reaction of just, oh, oh.
Yeah, they're just torturing this poor young woman, like,
Okay.
on the streets of Australia. What is this?
But like, why was that hot though?
So aside from it just being a really human moment from the audience, the power of this is, as I mentioned, Overwatch is a very team battle focused sport. You don't want to, like in League of Legends, you don't want to go into a 5v6. You want to be ready, or if not on a higher playing field. So South Korea takes advantage of the fact that Mangachu is the last one left and keeps Mangachu alive because the rest of the team is spawning, and now they're going to have to wait for Mangachu to come back from spawn to move forward as a full team.
Okay, spawn
So
timers.
basically, since they're trying to run down the clock and give Canada as little time as possible, they basically just wasted 20 seconds of Canada's time by just keeping Mangachu alive.
I see.
Jeez.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Makes
rough.
Sense. I mean, I thought they were just like staggering the CC for some reason.
Well, they were staggering
as if
the
they
seats.
couldn't kill her outright.
Oh.
Like I didn't get it.
I guess one of the bigger things coming from League to Overwatch is the cooldowns are much lower. So when you think about ultimates and whatnot, it's like they're used way more often. So it's like sometimes they'll just blow them just to blow them. So it's like.
I guess.
You were telling me earlier about the, it was like Blink has like a 3-minute cooldown or something?
Yeah, the Flash is like a over 2-minute cooldown.
Yeah. You won't see anything like that in Overwatch.
Yeah.
The longest ability aside from ultimates is Resurrect now with 30 seconds.
Which is in of itself ridiculous, but we'll get into that at another time. And
Another time.
speaking of little ridiculous abilities, let's talk about ridiculous champions. And I know we do have a community submitted clip from our friend Judy, Jet Set herself.
Back to League of Legends.
Yeah, and let's go take a quick look at that.
Notice how cool it is. Azir's just like one of my favorite champions to watch because he just rolls up and is like, boom.
Here's my minions.
Here are my minions. Now you die.
It's a really interesting champion design too, honestly.
Right?
Like just the idea of having soldiers that you can raise to different parts and you have to move them together, like that's just so sweet. And you really don't see those pentakills all that often. Like his ultimate, we saw it at the beginning of that clip. It was just a pushing sort of thing, right?
But it locked those two champions in there and just allowed him to hack away at them without any escape. It's pretty brutal, but pretty fun.
Put him into a kill box.
Exactly. Who doesn't love the kill box?
Dude, that jungle fight was just so messy. They were spread all over the place.
Can we, I mean, if we revisit this one more time, did you see the Kazakhs just like jump at the Ezreal? For why? Like you literally just witnessed two of your friends die to Azir.
And watch, okay,
and
so,
you're right next to him. You're like, here, Azir.
He's like, I've got
the
this.
Yasuo. The Yasuo is just like, Azir, hey, what's up? I'm after your friend.
That's like
Maybe
general.
they're hoping a 2v3 could go in their
Dude,
favor.
oh my god. Yasuo is like the Genji of League of Legends. Like, you go into these fights, like Yasuo, they see 5 people, full health, and they've got their tornadoes, and they're like, I'm ready for this. Now that we've taken a look at the community scene, I mean, this is a show about esports as well, so we'll have to take a look at the professional scene. And what's his name? Flower?
Flower.
From the South Korean team, Overwatch World Cup.
Learn that name. You're going to be hearing it a
yeah.
lot.
Dude, he's coming to the NYXL team. So,
word?
dude, you're
He's
going to
on
have to
XL
support.
tier.
Yes.
New York in the house.
So you're going to see this.
Let's
You're going to see this. You're going to be impressed, and you're going to be so grateful that New York got him.
Yeah, you're going to love the way you look. I guarantee it. But let's take a quick look at it.
So this is Flower from the Overwatch South Korea team for the World Cup. And yeah, Flower plays several DPS characters very well, but the Widow stands out.
Oh my god, did you see that shot under the Tracer?
Like, I don't even know if he was aiming for Tracer, but then Tracer shows up and it's like, all right,
Tracer
take it.
didn't even know she died. What?
She was trying her
And it
best,
just keeps going. It just keeps watching, and it just gets better. He just picks off more people, maybe not in the second. Boom, never mind, there we go.
He's just
with
smart.
Widow, it's such burst damage. It's like there goes half a health bar in a tank.
Oh.
There goes an entire soldier.
No.
Soldier just came out. Jake just popped his head out for a second. Gone.
Dude, and this is after Jake is coming back after getting killed the first time by Widow. So he got to point, he was like, I'm ready to fight for my country. He dies, comes back, and dies again.
At that point, Korea had the point. Canada was, United States was just like, nah.
Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Flower lands the shot, and Ryu Jahong, to follow up with it, just gets those orbs down on.
We just have these awesome shots of just Flower's just amazing, just pinpoint snap accuracy. So right over here, then Flower is in position to just watch the point.
Oh.
God.
Oh, this Winston's like, I'm gonna take care of Flower. No, Flower's gonna take care of you.
And that's the thing about Hanamura, like, there's so many different ways to play it, but Widowmaker,
so
through and through, is just such a good champion. Like, you know, the long sight lines on this map, really helping her out. So she's able to just wreak so much havoc. Like, this should not be possible.
She's just so mobile. That's
She's
the one
so
thing
mobile.
that I would love to be a good Widowmaker, because it just means that you're capitalizing on like the entire map.
Yeah.
And there goes Mack.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Jake, once again, walking out of spawn, immediately taken down.
Yeah, and I mean, this is only a clip of what Flower has been doing to the other countries in this world at the World Cup. This guy is obviously ridiculous. We have to keep our eyes on him as he, you know, transitions into the Overwatch League soon enough.
Easy,
And
guess
what team he's on?
Yeah, New York, Excelsior, man. That's
Flower,
gonna be, Yeah.
welcome.
That's going to be absolutely nuts, but
Make
we
us
will,
proud.
let's talk about the Overwatch World Cup for a second. Let's do
Sure
like a
thing.
little recap, like a little roundup. Yeah, so I mean, Canada and the US did really have fantastic teams. A lot of the talent that we're seeing signed to the Overwatch League is being signed from those two teams.
The first match of South Korea at BlizzCon in the World Cup was versus the USA team. And everyone was saying that if any team is like, could stand up to South Korea, it'd be the United States team.
Right.
And they did all right. They had one draw, they had one win against South Korea's 3.
Well,
So,
I mean,
they did
there it
better than
is.
some of the other teams.
They definitely did do better than some of the other teams. Like Canada had.
And even the ones where they lost, they're really close.
Yeah, Canada had a really potent team.
I'm talking about USA. Canada as well.
Canada had a very potent team.
Canada had a fantastic team.
Yeah. So it's good stuff, but as good as they are, the Koreans won, and you can't really say you're surprised, can you?
No one is surprised.
Yeah.
They won last year. They win again. It's
They're
the
good at every
dynasty.
game.
Yeah.
The
dynasty of Korea.
continues once again. And tell me a little about a league. Like, did Korean teams not dominate this World's finals?
I mean, the grand finals were Korea versus Korea, and Korea won. So I mean, that's like what happened. And I mean, it's honestly.
But Korea also lost then.
You're right. You're right. Did you see Faker cry?
I did.
Yeah, I saw that.
We
That
all
was
saw
actually
Faker
heartbreaking.
cry.
That was so sad.
Honestly, it's no one's surprised anymore when Korea does well in video games.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were some decent upsets. At least in League, there was the European team Misfits did really well.
Right.
Gigabyte Marines did really well.
Yeah,
from
and that team
Southeast
kind of
Asia.
came out of nowhere.
They always do that.
That's ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure this is the second World Finals
Yeah.
where they're doing that, and they always come out with some like crazy new tactic that then gets emulated in solo queue for a very long time. you know how it goes.
Yeah.
But
I saw the pros do something. I'm gonna do it too.
literally. If he can do it, so can I. You're not a pro.
That
though.
he is Faker. Little do they know.
He is Faker. You are Silver.
Yeah.
Don't do
That's
it.
the bigger problem.
Don't do it. I mean, I am too, but I ain't trying.
Yeah.
So anyway, tell me more about the Overwatch League, though.
Oh yeah. So I mean, it's set up in kind of an interesting way. You know, we were kind of left in the dust for a year before learning about the Overwatch League and stuff. But right now, it looks like it's going to be running the first season of the Overwatch League from January 10th to June 16th.
Right. Which is
like
going to be 6 months and 6 days of competitive Overwatch.
Just straight?
It sounds like it. If you look at the matches, the matchup pairings and stuff, literally every other day they have different groups for the 12 teams to be separated into.
12 teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they basically play every other day. We've got the players, we've got the numbers, we've got the money, we've got the funding, we've got everything. But now all we have left is questions to be asked in this section of the starting point. Welcome to PvP. First question, main question, biggest question. Do you think the Overwatch League and the League of Legends franchise models are going to succeed? The floor is yours. Judy, Kyle.
Start us off.
Well, okay. I'm a bit cynical here, all right?
Okay.
But I honestly feel like some of the decisions that have been made so far,
Right.
a lot of the decisions that have been made so far, are just kind of hurting the spirit of esports as I know it.
Okay.
Okay, hot take, I know.
Hot take. Yeah.
But
Can you elaborate?
So the thing is, for me, right, esports has always been about its accessibility, right? You watch dope play, you see it, you want to emulate it, and you can literally just turn to your other screen or Alt-Tab if you're broke like me, and go into your game and play, and you could just do a thing that you saw, and that's the magical part of it. Yes, we're seeing the highest peak of gaming, right? But we're also seeing something that we can understand and translate into something that we can do.
Right.
And I think that is just so motivating to watch, to participate in, to enjoy. And when big companies just say, make it work, make it work.
Yes, make us a return on
Do the
investment.
thing that is the
Yeah.
esports. And that's just not, that like just kills the vibe
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
And I just think that it'll do more harm than good. Obviously, money is always good.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's going to kill at least my motivating drive for watching and participating in esports.
I get in a similar sense when we talk about like, oh my gosh, such and such would make such a good movie, such and such would make a great TV show, and then someone buys up the rights and says we're going to make a movie. We suddenly kind of all go, oh.
It's like
are
Activision
you
buying
doing
Blizzard.
well? Yeah.
Like
Right.
I was like, oh God. Like Blizzard, I love Diablo, StarCraft, just banger after banger after banger. And then Activision, I was like, money. Like go. You get that weird period where everyone's like, this could hit the fan. This might not be good. This might not be bad.
Yeah, Mass Effect and EA.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, let's not even.
All right.
God.
Bring it back up. Bring it back up.
All right.
Positive, PMA.
Positive vibes.
So,
Yeah.
obviously, advertisement, money going into this, jerseys.
Right.
There's a lot of great stuff that comes with the franchise model in just the fact there is money to be made. That's not just feast or famine for a team.
Yeah.
So there's a cool sense of like, I have an Overwatch track jacket that I've been wearing since like beta.
Right.
And every season, because you only wear a track jacket for like certain seasons of the year, like spring,
And fall.
Yeah, you're either sweating or you're freezing with it, but like there's a nice period.
Yeah.
Whenever I wear it, I always seem to get a few more comments on it. I have the people who are just kind of like, oh, what's this Overwatch that you're wearing? And then people are like, oh, I've heard about that. And now it's like people will like stop me and be like, oh, I love this game. And I'll see other people wearing jackets, and it's great. And it's getting people to talk about it. Yeah. And it's only because it's succeeding that happens, which allows it to grow. I can see where you're coming from, though, of like it gets almost too big that it becomes almost
it becomes a joke,
the accessibility.
Even. Yeah.
But at the same time, I guess that's also just a side effect of it getting big, and I want this to succeed.
Yeah, I guess you could take the optimist route, right, and say, you know, the stories can be built. It's not like everyone will be soulless, right? It's not like we won't get cool personalities, even though they're cultivated instead of just, you know,
organically grown.
Yeah, you know, maybe.
Franchising, esports. Two major ways it could go, right? It could either be hit or complete miss. It could be totally over corporate and just a pain in the butt, or everyone could love it and be like, wow, they actually did a really good job.
We kind of have something that has come up that comes with franchising this.
Right.
So of the teams that have come out, the Philadelphia team released this video to reveal their roster.
Oh my God, dude.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, God, yes, I do.
Oh,
yes. I hate to admit that I do.
It felt like a fast food commercial, and like what are you doing? I'm dancing on the payload. Like, it was just someone who's like, what are references I can put in
another
this?
Headshot, and wow, I'm just so great at this game.
Of course, they had to throw in a girl, a guy, a colored guy. I'm pretty sure there's a Spanish girl in there. Like, let's just hit all the demographics. This'll work.
United Colors of Overwatch.
Yeah.
And it very much felt like they just brought on somebody who's like, I do commercials. I'll help you advertise
I'm a
this.
marketing guy with 10 years of experience at Fox News. Like, come on, hire me.
Exactly. So that's one of the downsides of franchising is you get kind of this genericness. That comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soulless, lacking soul. And it's not, I mean, I don't know, cringiness aside, I mean, hopefully we just have to have the faith, right? That people with the right, the money's going to fall in the right hands.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what I'm banking on.
Exactly.
For me, I guess there's a difference between being more available and more accessible. I think that there's something, obviously there's definitely something to be said about, the platform being reachable.
Right.
Again, I find Overwatch really difficult to watch, and that's a reason why I personally won't watch it, but a lot of people do. And, but I find it easy to play to a certain extent. Easy.
Easy.
Really easy.
Yeah.
No. Like, it's the Fisher Price of TF2. Okay? I said it. I'm going to say it. Overwatch is Fisher Price TF2.
That just means League of
Quote
Legends
me.
is like Heroes of Newerth for 3-year-olds.
Get out of here
what
with
is
your
that?
old-ass references.
What?
Get outta
I mean, if I wanted to play League, I could have hopped back on my Warcraft 3 map editor, and just played this game again. But
Okay,
you
go
know,
ahead and play Dota then and juggle chainsaws.
yeah, I
for the rest
could.
of
They're the
day.
same old game with a different skin. But we'll keep our controversial opinions. No, I'm kidding.
Well, one's making money.
Dota.
I'm enjoying this.
Anyway.
Let's just put that out there.
Anyway, well, point is, though, I definitely think, like, accessibility for a game is really important. Well, I guess maybe I'm thinking more of relatability.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I need to understand, or something that benefited me was that I understood the struggle, for example, of solo queue.
Right.
Right? And I understood that double lift you know, got kicked out of his house because he was a gamer, and his mom said, you have to go to college, and he said, no, I have a shot now.
Right.
And to a certain extent, people shouldn't have to suffer like that in order to make it, but making it is a part of that story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a part of that backbone that I can now appreciate Double Lift for doing something that I personally can never do at this point, you know? So I respect that, and I'm afraid that it's just going to be, okay, well, I duo with this guy, and we both hit, you know, 3,000 rating together, and we're at the top of this ladder. So now we get to boot camp and, you know, live in the lap of luxury. But maybe that in and of itself can be an experience.
Yeah,
I think you'll get those, but I think you'll still get those like awesome stories.
Yeah.
Because the model that Overwatch League, at least what Blizzard advertised at BlizzCon 2016, was that players will play competitive, go up in the ranks, and get picked out from there. That people will not have to, like, I've been part of forums where people are like, I want to play Overwatch competitively. How do I do that? And it's like, you try to join tournaments. You try to play with people that would get you noticed. It was such a wild west of like, I don't know, you just rub the right shoulders, play with the right people. And now it's like some kid who like, you know, picks us up in like Wyoming and just does a good job and like watches YouTube videos to try to learn tips and practices and just comes out of nowhere, can get picked up and taken to the big city. And I mean, that's what like so many sports films are about. And like now there'll be esport films about this kid.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, I definitely agree. Like I think, okay, so this is my through and through opinion, okay? Franchising is gonna be the biggest thing for esports. I guarantee it. Only reason I guarantee it is because, so let's take a look. Say if I'm a level 0 player in all these games, right? League of Legends, PUBG, Overwatch. The learning skill, the skill curve, the initial skill curve is the first thing that people, like, you know, the first thing that people run into, be it whether you're watching soccer, football, basketball, playing a game, whatever you're doing, that initial skill curve. How hard is it to understand the game? When I first played League of Legends, I don't want to say it was hard, but it was hard, but it was in-depth as well. And so was Overwatch. Like, all these games are popular competitive games because they're in-depth. What my thinking is the franchising, it's going to enable more people to have that initial interest. It's going to pique their initial interest, get more people to even take that plunge into that skill curve and really think about it. Because once you take that first step, these games are amazing. There's so much depth, there's a lot of experience to it, and it's the same thing with a lot of these sports. What I think the franchising is going to do is open this esport up to a lot of people, more so than usual, and because of that, either Overwatch or League of Legends is going to blow up in a positive manner. And that's my prediction for the next year.
So here's my question for you.
Yeah.
You're actually pretty decent at Overwatch, right?
I'm okay. I'm not like fantastic.
We don't have to blow up your spot, all right? You being pretty good, do you think that if you wanted to go pro, you could commit time and effort and feasibly become pro? Do you think that right now with franchising, that is a foreseeable sight you could set?
Okay. Yes. Only because I know people that I've talked to that are on teams. And if people that I've come into contact to in my time playing are on Overwatch League teams, dude, anybody could do it.
Oh.
No, not in the sense
People
that...
No, that felt like shade. That felt like shade.
You out. I'm sorry.
Sorta. I'm not calling people out necessarily, but...
It's still a small community.
Definitely. It is a small community, but I think that if you put the time and effort into it in the right manners, you could actually do it. Like, my brother, he's a competitive player, but he's 30 years old at this point, you know what I mean? Like, he's been playing competitive shooters ever since Counter-Strike, you know, 1.6 back in the day.
Okay.
So he was on the game. He basically taught me everything I know. But even, yeah, I know, so sweet, right? It's so cute. But even with all that, like, he's a diamond ranked, he's a diamond ranked player now.
Yeah.
And that's above a majority of the people. So what I'm saying is, like, you don't have to be in your prime. You don't have to be like the best player at this game. If you understand it, like the game awareness and sense, you'll get up there. You'll get up in the ranks. And same thing with League even, man. Like when I used to play that stuff, dude, I peaked peaked at Silver 1. I know, I'm such a god. Silver 1, just for any of you who haven't played it, it goes Bronze 5 and then up to Bronze 1, obviously, and then Silver 5 to Silver 1, so that is pretty bad. I think most of the player base is in like Gold, so
well
maybe.
25%.
With any like Olympic sport, there are like certain there's like an age that you peak that is different for different sports.
Yeah.
So like
I peaked for golf at 14. Like,
but like the best age for running is like I think it was like 30s or 40s or something.
What?
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like it's much older than you would think. You think like oh, young athletes like high school and college. And it's like no, running is actually
I'll
like
see what my knees think of that in 20 years, dude. God.
So with different kinds of shooters and different kinds of video games, there might be different ages that you peak. Like the quick twitchy reflexes. You still have time. You still have time.
One day.
Like with League of Legends, there's like a certain kind of twitchiness, and then different kinds of shooters with different kind of twitchiness. Of like Counter-Strike, you need those headshots. You need to pull the trigger faster.
Oh my God! Yes,
and then
you do.
Overwatch, you actually have the ability to turn fights back around.
Yeah, and it's really like they really did a great job of making a team game. You know what I mean? Like you really need your team, and it's just like nice. Like, not to rag on League again, but it's like, dude, I never felt like I had a team. Maybe it's because I was silver, but you know.
Do I need to scoot to this end of the table?
There are lots of reasons why that may be the case.
Yeah.
I've definitely played Overwatch and could not win when someone leaves the match. So,
no, no, that'll do it.
That's a thing.
That will also do it,
Yeah, I don't know. See, what's funny is I was just wondering if you still felt like that same motivation is still present for you, being like you're decently up there. Because I know a lot of people, for example, in high-elo league, who'll be up there and kind of get jaded. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, okay, all the other pro players are just guys like me, but they play 10 times more, or they do X, Y, Z, and that is impossible for me, so I'm never gonna make it. But, you know, this franchising thing, you know, benefits, gives you like a little platform that maybe you could say, okay, this is something I could explain to my mom and not die. You know?
Not
this is
die
something that,
is the right
you know,
word.
yeah, like literally I could foreseeably consider this a career. At least, you know, for a gap year in college.
Yeah, and it's like, think about the sacrifices like a NBA player would have to make. You know what I mean? Like when they talk about going pro in basketball, you don't just talk about going pro. You know what I mean? You eat, you live, you breathe this thing. And it's like, if you want to do the same in Overwatch, you're gonna have to do the same, because there's tons of talent out there. Like there's tons of talent out there. But what separates the top 250 from the top 500, that's what'll make or break you right there.
Well, see, okay, so if you want to talk about branding, here's where I'm going to take the other side. Individuals and small teams, I think, are perfect franchising models. If you, the perfect franchising models, that is, if you find the right personality.
Right.
Okay.
If you find, I can only do it in league terms. Say the double lift.
Just explain to me like I'm 5. Okay.
Find the trash talker who's really good at the game but is sometimes insufferable, but you love him anyway because he's really good at the game.
The player you love to hate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You find that
exactly.
dude, you pour money into him.
And that's exactly what they did in Overwatch too. So you have double lift in League of Legends. In Overwatch, you have the San Francisco Shock and you have Sinatra.
Oh, is he insufferable?
Yeah, he's absolutely insufferable. He trash talks all the time. He's not even 18 yet, so he can't even play on the league. But they had a bidding war over this kid because they were like, this is personality.
Oh, he's going to be like 18 like just in time or something, right?
Like, I think midway through, but just exactly what you're saying. Exactly.
So that's what I think is kind of the one salvageable point of this. You know, yes, you have a good foundation to breed up, like bring up players that can be good, but you've got to still pick out those gems. Because they need to be relatable, they need to be interesting, they need to be good characters. And there's no better way to do that than a small team squad 1v1 tournament where this guy's like, I'm the best. And then he shows up at the tournament and maybe gets bodied, and that's still publicity. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of thing that you could pour money into and just ensure that you've got to take a bet. But if you find a good personality, that'll last you ages.
If they've got the skill to back it up too, so they'll be trash talking the whole time before the tournament, and then they actually show up, bang. millionaires right there.
Think about UFC,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even the weigh-ins are drama. You know what I mean?
Oh
They're
my
looking
God.
at each other.
They get like kissing
they're
distance.
About to kiss.
Yeah.
They're like, look at my weight now. Well, I'm ready.
Oh, I'm 205.
Ready to beat you up.
I'm in my weight class.
Right?
Oh.
Like they're getting all kinds of sponsorship deals and all that sort of thing. So you could totally monetize that.
So we've talked about the Overwatch League franchise. We've talked about the League franchise. We've talked about PUBG franchising, maybe.
Question mark.
You guys definitely let us know who you agree with, be it Judy, Kyle, or I. I know Kyle and I had kind of a agreeing stance, but you know, Miss League of Legends over there. No, I'm kidding.
The best.
Yeah, right. Well, with all that being said, let's move on to the next section. It's going to be Hero Select. It'll just be like player news, team news, you know, just general tidbits from here and there on the esports scene. Let's run through it real quick. For those of you that have been following Overwatch since the beta, there's been this guy, his name is Dennis Hoelka, also known as Internet Hulk. He's been a fantastic player, contributor to the game, just a fantastic mind to have around. And he recently passed away, which has been very, very sad to hear. Explicitly how, we don't know. We're thinking tonsillitis, because on his Twitter he did mention that he did catch it and he was in the hospital. It's just so sad, man. He's so young, but such a great mind.
Yeah.
It's rough, man. 30 years young, you know? Just getting into esports, yeah.
And he was such a foundation to esports as well.
Yeah,
like, he even crossed over
in
to
League,
yeah. He was on Team Liquid. He was a league coach for a while before passing away. So.
Yeah, and he's just really smart. He played Overwatch and they hired him for a coach position. Pretty good.
At least he was there for esports, and he got to be a fundamental part of this industry. And Blizzard is honoring him, right?
Yeah.
Now he gets to be history.
Yeah.
Blizzard, I guess, has announced that with the Overwatch League, there was going to be a. Did they say it's going to be
an award?
It's an award for a player that is outstanding in the community and helps it grow.
Very nice.
I cannot remember if they said it's going to be
the
Internet Hulk or it's going to be Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis.
They're going to go by Dennis.
Yeah.
His first name. That's great.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
As much as Internet Hulk is iconic, Dennis is just.
He's finally getting the recognition he deserves, and it's like I don't know if you guys saw it on Lijiang Tower. There's actually a tribute to one of the Chinese players that died. Yeah, and so a lot of people were discussing like, dude, this guy definitely deserves something in the game. Glad he's got it.
It was a fan who, before Overwatch had come out, he had like told all his friends about it. He was so hyped about the game. He was very vocal about his excitement for the game, and he helped a lady who a motorcyclist like mugged her, and like he had chased the motorcyclist down to try to get his bag back, and he got shot and died. And it was before the game came out, so it was like he didn't even get to play Overwatch, but he like was such an upstanding like member of the community and a person that Blizzard immortalized him and put him as like put his name over the there's an
astronaut suit.
There's like 3 astronaut suits, one of which has the Chinese flag, so they put his name and heroes never die.
In Chinese, in Chinese characters. It's really a touching tribute.
Blizzard killing it with the Easter eggs.
Exactly, and it's details like that that really like remind you just how pervasive esports is and how you know
like how much you can really get.
Something like that can be, you know.
Yeah. Well,
so it's a tragedy, but also like he lives on.
He lives on, and so will Dennis, so will Internet Hulk. He will live on. And you know, he did really have a very big hand in putting together some of these teams that we're seeing in the Overwatch League now. Speaking of which, let's take a look at these 12 teams that we've got.
12 teams.
Yeah. So
with some pretty horrendous names. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that?
Oh man, so there's a whole variety. We've got good names, we've got bad names, we've got good videos, we've got Microsoft Paint videos. Like there's some weird things going on. Yeah, so let's talk about Overwatch League names. You know, the franchises are very much so pushing these names, the branding. I know League of Legends is also franchising now. This is the big thing that's happening. Let's talk about some names. What do you guys got? Some goods, some bads?
When the first Overwatch League name came out was the Shanghai Dragons.
Right,
And that was really cool to me and kind of a start of like, it's going to be animals, things, like it's going to be very definable, like, you know, like I love the Minnesota Vikings. You know, I grew up in Minnesota, so it's like, it's a great name. It's like Vikings. Yes, I can stand behind Vikings.
Right.
I can see someone dressing as a Viking. Maybe someone's not going to dress as a dragon, but now we have Philadelphia Fusion.
Yeah, I'll just dress up as a...
I'll just dress up as some particles floating.
Fusing.
coming together. It'll be a 2-part costume. We'll come.
It's a couples only thing. I know.
Philadelphia Fusion.
Philadelphia Fusion.
Fusion.
And it's like, I guess then the players should be like, and here come the fusions. Here comes
they're
Fusion.
proud of their energy. Like the Steelers, isn't that like an energy logo, like their original thing?
I don't know about the original, but the one now is the steel. Like if you like look at like what materials are in this steel, that's the symbol.
Yeah.
So.
Oh God.
But
I don't know.
Okay, I kind of get what you're coming from, but like. At least steel is a physical thing.
What is up with them and natural resources? Like, it doesn't have to be resources. There's so many. The Philadelphia tables, like the tablecloth. A fusion? Well, okay, whatever.
I like the colors. I like the orange and black, even if Soldier 76 totally looks like Naruto.
Yeah, honestly. What about for League? I know there's, the Cleveland, what?
No, I don't even, God, was it I think the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
Recently came out, I think within the last 24 hours, announced that their team was going to be called Clutch City Esports.
Clutch City, baby! Clutch City! Like,
Literally.
That's it.
They designed it for frat bros.
Yeah, honestly. They just need something that's easy to scream, you know, and it'll
Clutch
sell.
City was my favorite character from Jersey Shore.
What?
Oh my
fits,
God.
right?
Oh my God. That was too good. That was too good of an integration. See, because it's not for nerds. It's not for nerds. That's how you know a nerd didn't make that. Straight up.
But like the term clutch is very much a gaming term, and it's like, what are they going to do? They're going to clutch. They're full of clutch.
And they think of big plays, and they're like, oh my God, that was such a clutch play. It's like buzzwords. What a good word. Clutch and
then we got to go alliteration, so CC. So
yeah, clutch.
I guess.
Oh my
We'll see.
God.
We'll see how good they do.
Like, who really got paid $1 million to do that? And they were like, dude, this is fantastic.
Guys, I got it. Clutch City.
Well, if you want to talk odd logos, the San Francisco Shock team is still very much confusing as to what is the logo, because it looks like Shock might be the logo, but then there's also like a seismograph that looks like the Golden Gate Bridge. So it's like, which one? I don't know. It's
like, what are they going for?
People. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going to be on the hat.
Yeah, after, I guess, but not why not the earthquake, like the quakes or.
How do you draw an earthquake?
They drew a wave, a seismic wave, and they were like,
and it looks like the Golden Gate Bridge also. So I like that logo.
It's okay.
But I haven't seen that anywhere. Like when the logos we've seen, which by the way, we got a preview of the Overwatch League jerseys and the hats.
Yeah, no.
And there's some pretty cool color schemes.
That is true.
I gotta say, the Houston Outlaws, the black and green, still looks rad.
Yeah, no, that definitely does look nice. Yeah.
But the Excelsior team looks fantastic with its colors. Go New York, rooting for you.
I don't even watch Overwatch. I'ma get me an Excelsior fitted. I'm telling you.
Dude, you're
with
gonna
my
have
Tims, or what?
Oh
Are
my
you kidding
God.
me? I'm gonna be in the subway, repping NY Excelsior.
She drew her New Yorker card.
Day,
she was like, "Oh yeah, this is me right here."
What?
Definitely let us know what you guys think and what you guys like and your favorite team names, because we'll definitely be looking. Because as you can tell, our opinions aren't the same.
At all. They've been sitting and listening to our opinion for like however long.
Yeah,
so
very
like,
true.
By all means, they have the right to share their opinion, and we can decide whether or not we agree or disagree with them.
Exactly. So we might roast you if you comment, but take that chance.
True say.
Yeah. There's a pretty good likelihood though, if you root for Excelsior, we will agree with you. So.
And if you don't, I mean, it's okay to be wrong.
But honestly, if you're rooting for Boston, like, I just don't know what you're thinking. But that's a discussion for another time. For now, we'll head right into the patch notes, which is just going to be a little bit more about news and gameplay and a little bit of updates of what's going on. So let's talk Mercy real quick, because that's the biggest problem that Overwatch is facing.
Yeah, I thought for a while nothing was going to dethrone Lucio as like one of the main healers in the competitive scene. And if Overwatch World Cup is a show of that, Mercy is taking over that throne. With the new resurrection ability, Mercy can bring back a person for 30 seconds pretty quickly.
Yeah, so I remember when you used to play Overwatch, Mercy would get multiple people in her resurrection, and it was an ultimate ability. So you worked for it a bit. They reworked her because they were like, you know what, that's kind of annoying. They were right, it's kind of annoying.
You'd hold your ult the entire game and be like, oh, I never used it because you didn't all die at the same time.
And so then they made the worst choice of their lives by making their resurrect ability a skill.
Just a regular.
It's a
regular ability.
A regular
really
skill.
long cooldown.
30-second cooldown, but it's a skill. Whatever. Played the game for a long time. We saw what happened clearly. What they're trying to do now to fix it is they're adding a 1.75-second delay on that resurrect. So when she flies in, she's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna be like an instant. Okay, she's up.
Can't fly
let me get back out.
Go.
That's
Exactly.
gonna ruin her.
Yeah.
She'll get popped before she can resurrect somebody.
Finally.
But
what you don't want to see her play?
I'm just done with her. I am so done with her. It's personally, I'm done with her.
Well, I'm not in that boat. I do like the ability of resurrect, especially in casual play.
Yeah.
It's very much. You would have your ult, but you'd never be able to use it. You'd maybe get 1 or 2 people, but that would felt like a waste for an entire ult.
Yeah.
So with this ability, you're able to get like your friend up who just like. You walk out the door and Junkrat has a trap of mine and blows you up with a grenade. So, all right, bring him back. But this channeling does feel like a good balance. It feels like you can't just willy-nilly revive someone. Also, with the channeling, you can then cancel it, I'm hoping. Because there have been times I was playing as Orisa. I died. I got revived. While simultaneously a diva nuke went off. So I immediately came out of my immortality, resurrection immortality as the nuke went off in my face because it's an instantaneous thing.
And there you go.
And if you had a channeling time, you could be like, wait, hold off.
Just
not now.
I mean, so that's definitely coming. Mercy hopefully getting the changes that she needs. And we'll see what kind of ripple effect that has. Because more often than not, you change one thing and 50 other things change.
But give us a like on this video if you also are tired of seeing Mercy and never want to see her again in your games.
Yeah, definitely. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, because why not? Dude, come on. You're missing out.
Subscribe to the leaderboard.
Yeah, but definitely lots of new changes coming up in League of Legends. That preseason is going to be vital. All these new runes and masteries changes going to be shaking up the scene.
And real quick, Moira coming to Overwatch. We talk more about that in another video, so we're not going to get into it here, but like another hero definitely shakes up the scene.
Moira, that new Blizzard World map is coming out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really understand Moira. I think I'm just probably going to have to watch more Leaderboard videos to understand. But honestly, I don't get like how she's just like a mix of, to me, she just looks like Zenyatta plus
Crack.
Zarya plus, I don't know.
I really don't know.
She's a little bit
Symmetra,
Zenyatta, a little bit Symmetra, a little bit Mercy, a little bit like a lot of different characters are in play here, which plenty of the other characters are really just like Lucio's passive ability is a healing field, and Zenyatta's ultimate is a bigger, better healing field. So there's a lot of like abilities that cross over.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. She has a lot of bouncing effects, like not a lot of direct single target damage. It's definitely going to be interesting. It's definitely a
lot
weird
of direct damage. Though,
yeah, it's weird. Like this balance you're going to have to play. And you know, if it's anything like Sombra with these weird play styles, she's going to take a couple months to figure out.
Yeah.
People will figure it out
also
eventually.
support, so like maybe people are going to try to rush that faster
like,
than they did.
How long did it take people to figure out Xayah and Rakan, would you say, to really utilize them effectively?
Yeah,
I would say that there was a bit of a learning curve.
Yeah.
But eventually they always get picked or banned. So it's, I mean, there's clearly a larger champion pool, so there's more to think about for that. But you know, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with, especially together.
Word.
So
yeah, and so maybe Moira will become that force like Sombra has now. We see her all the time in competitive play. Dude, those EMPs can make or break fights. Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, it's so nice seeing her. And I just like her voice actor a lot. I think she's really cute. Had a wonderful time being here with you all tonight. This has been The Starting Point. My name is Jimmy, aka Jim Basco. You can find me on Twitter at Jim Basco TV.
I'm Judy. I'm on Twitter as Jetset.
And I'm Kyle Stover. You can follow me on Twitter at AlphaLance, and be sure to get down there and like and comment. And thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit that bell icon to become part of the notification squad, where you'll get up-to-date notifications on all of our videos coming out. And be sure to subscribe to the Leaderboard, your home for video game facts. Have a good night, guys.